Ruby. Hey, everybody. How are you? Ruby. Hey, baby. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good morning. Wherever you are in the world. It's so great to see y'all. It really is. I had a moment. I hope everyone's doing well. You know, Saturn is going retrograde today, as you know. I think it already did. I think Saturn already went I got to look at I'll take a look later. Don't forget that, okay? Because that's huge. But you know, I really love the fact that the moon is in Aquarius. That's great. That's amazing. We love the moon in Aquarius. I'm not saying that because I'm in Aquarius, but it's really great. So therefore, the moon will sextile Saturn. Listen, what a great time. What a great time to be here. And there's been a lot of stuff happening. There's been a lot of stuff happening. So I'm going to let a couple other people get in. It's so great to see y'all. Oh, Shauna, your natal moon that's amazing. You're an Aquarius moon. Were you here? You were here about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? There was a lot of Aquarius moons that were here. That was fun. So yeah. And therefore you probably, you know, the moon did conjunct Pluto. But anyway, it has been a week. It has been an absolutely crazy week. I'm going to give you an upgrade of my website, Great Awakener. And I think that the last time I saw y'all, I said that it was when Uranus was right on my ascendant. And I'm going to show you my chart because I'm going to show you a couple other things. Now, this is when those moments hit, and I'm just like, astrology cannot get any more real. I have not ever experienced anything. If anybody has Uranus on your ascendant, if you're Gemini rising, 0, 1, 2 degrees, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I want to see if you're experiencing the same things I am. And remember, Uranus is shocks and surprises and the unexpected. And I've had a lot of those. And I think that you may know that I have had many. And they were pretty extreme. It's Uranus on my ascendant. And it's almost one of those things that's just so indescribable. All the things that have happened since Uranus moved into Gemini, but even just like the days before, I would even say like that last live stream on June 29th, when I was ready to show you the site, but we had that little glitch, and then Uranus just came on my ascendant, and it just scattered everything. And so I may be a little bit scattered. I'm, what is it, July 12th? So yeah, since that day, June 29th, there was 1 or 2 days. That's how much I don't remember. It's just been a blur. But there was 1 day where I did work 19 hours, but every day since July began, between 12 to 16 hours fixing things, but also I had to do my work and I had other things to do. And I barely had, I think it was like a birthday dinner that I went to. I was in and out. I had work to do. I had things to do. And I'm really backed up with your forecast. So your forecasts that are coming out this Wednesday, they're long. I can't make them short. There's no way. There's so much happening in July. And what's happening to me is happening for a lot of other people, because remember, it's not just Uranus on the ascendant. It is now officially all the 4 outer planets forming that rare trine, the prism portal. I gave it a name, the prism portal. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to keep that, but yeah. So everyone's going through some really strong energies, and you're seeing it play out in the world. Now, I did tell you in my last live stream that, on the Great Awakener, the site, I will be doing more world astrology there, explaining some things, but I'm going to show you something today that's going to blow your mind, okay? And I am going to give you some predictions. And, it's clear I've been doing some reels on social media that you've seen a lot of the predictions that made, they're all, you're seeing them unfold, right? The floodings, yeah, as well, just a lot of things. Okay, so a lot of things. So I'll give you a couple more today as well, but I'm going to keep this short because I do have so much to do. I have not had, and I may be a little bit scattered, so I apologize in advance if I'm a little scattered, but that is Uranus on my ascendant, and it has been bonkers. I can't even explain to you every little, it's like, you've heard of Murphy's Law. It's almost, I mean, it's just been like, the past week has just been like, just kind of like a cycle of like these comedy of errors, and I have to just grin and bear it. And it's not just that, it's like other things, you know. Uranus rules technology, right? Like, we're talking about technology. Uranus and Gemini were, so I've had a lot of tech stuff, I've had a lot of electricity stuff in my place, I've had a lot of unexpected things happen. I had even little things. I'm not like, I have a tower fan in my bedroom because I'm not getting AC back there. And so I think about a week ago, it fell and broke in half. So I had to order a new one. And I waited a few days for that. I just put up like a little fan. It's been like 90 here in New York City. And they sent me a filter or something. It wasn't what I ordered. And so I just don't have time to send it back and all that. So I just ordered another fan. But little things like that. It's just so funny. It's just funny. It's like, you can't help but laugh at these things. Okay. So with the Great Awakener, which I'm very excited about. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I'm getting a lot of your messages. This is part of all the unexpected things that I've been going through the past week. I've been getting your messages that the page that's up now where you can sign up to get notified, well, it's not working. So I now have to look into that. And it's not easy because it's not even hosted on my server. So I have to get in touch with a person that I hired who so the things like that. It's been, and this is like an hourly basis. Maybe you've seen me post Instagram reels at 2 a.m. Maybe you see, because there's just things that I'm putting out fires every day, but this is Uranus on my ascendant. And again, I'm not like complaining about it. Just like, it's just fascinating to me how real astrology is. Because again, it's not just that. I'm going to talk about other things, but Great Awakener, okay? And and that's the thing, everyone's going to be feeling it. I want to hear your stories on like anything like unexpected. I think every Zoom call that I've been on, it froze, or it's very interesting. It is just so interesting and it fascinates me. But again, there's the other side of the breakthroughs and all the innovations, and it's given me time to rethink some of the things I was doing on the website. I'm like, oh, this is actually better. And so a lot of blessings in disguise. So that's the main thing right now, is it is all the 4 outer planets, Saturn and Neptune conjuncting in Aries, right? At the apex, if we're thinking about this, pyramid, right? And then sextile Uranus and Gemini, and then sextile Pluto and Aquarius, and Uranus and Pluto, they're in a trine, which is very, very nice. It's very harmonious. Okay. So when you look at it in a chart, that's, they're, 120 degrees apart, and it's just very positive. It's just, there's this flow, and you're going to see them working together. All right. With Saturn and Neptune as well. But because this has never happened in modern human history, there is that sense of which way are we going? And that's why I say now it's official. The collective is locked in. The collective is locked in as of July 7th. Okay, so this is now perfect. All the 4 planets, all the 4 outer planets, all connecting at that 0 to 1 degree, 0 to 2 degrees, early degrees, 3, yeah, new beginnings. So we're moving into a brand new era, literally, that we've never experienced in our lifetime. We're locked in. And remember, it's all about the collective now. Now that this is locked in, it's all about the collective and how you're going to contribute to the collective, how the work that you do, okay, contributes in any way, whether you're a, farmer, a painter, a dancer, a CEO of a clown business, whatever you do, it's just everyone is playing a role, and it's all about that contribution to humanity. You're going to see humanity is got to be a little bit more headline news. What's happening to the world? What's happening to humanity? And we got to choose our reality. I make that very clear. Yeah. There's polarities. You get to choose. We get to choose our paths. There's some things laid out for us. Yeah. There's a bunch of different timelines where it's a matter of like our energy putting us on that timeline. That's great. Yeah. But in the meantime, and I've said this many times, we're at a place where there's a lot of like this divide just going opposite directions, and they refuse to, meet in the middle. They keep going the other direction. So yeah, there's going to be a point where you're experiencing it now, and you're going to see a lot more where we're going to have to, have some breakdowns to have this breakthrough. And that's where we're at now. You're going to start feeling it a lot more. You're going to start seeing a lot more. Yeah. You're going to see. And what I love about this is that this is astrology. Uranus is astrology. Pluto, Aquarius is astrology. It's all activated now as part of this prism portal. And so you're going to see a big shift. You're going to see a really big shift in astrology in general, more interest in it. I think that I said in one of my live streams, a lot of people are, going to move in the direction of listening more to astrologers than to news anchors, because there is a level of trust, okay, that is going to be tested the next few months, okay? And I've been saying that from the beginning. I from the get-go, coyote, right? The trickster, the deception. And I even said it with Neptune going retrograde. I told you, I think I said that in my last live stream. When Neptune goes retrograde, yeah. For the world, yeah, that's when you start seeing things. That's when you start seeing things that were a little deceptive. You see all the deception. And you're seeing things unfold. And so now your consciousness is expanding. You're seeing things that since you were a kid, you thought it was one way, right? Now you're saying, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? So that's why I say always trust your intuition. Trust your intuition, okay? The Great Awakener, by the way. This is how scattered I am. This is Uranus on my ascendant. Remember, I have it here for a long time, but it just moved in, so I'm just getting used to the energies, right? And I natally have Uranus in my 6th house. So it just means like, remember, 6th house is just like everyday activities. Yeah, there's unexpected things that happen a lot. But again, breakthroughs. A lot of breakthroughs. Yeah. Innovation. Genius. That genius energy. Anyway. Okay. So the Great Awakener, thank you so much for your interest. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for all your questions. And again, yes, the emails, the sign up. I'll try to get that fixed today. It's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of troubleshooting. Then I'm already working with 5 other people for 5 of the other different parts where there's been some fires that have been so it's been so the big update here, yes, I will fix that. I'll make sure that it's fixed by today so you can sign up. And if not, you can just leave your email. You can email me your email. Someone did that. I just said, oh, you can just send me your email. I'll add it to the, the table or in my form. But what I was going to say is that there's been some tech challenges that I'm working through that came up unexpectedly. You see this these themes with Uranus, right? So we're working through that, and just to be on the safe side, it's now pushed to August. Okay, so about a month from now, but this is good, and I believe that there's a reason. There's always, there's a reason for everything. Everything happens for a reason, and that's why I don't ever get frustrated, or I don't let anything pull me into low energy frequency, because some people could get really about that. No, I see it as like, okay, what did I have to learn? Okay, because Saturn's going retrograde, right? Pluto's retrograde. Yeah. Neptune's retrograde. Mercury's about to go retrograde. What do I have to learn? There was a reason I had to learn something here. So I'm spending the next few weeks redoing it with a different developer, because there was a challenge there. And that is why I've been working, every day with different people making this work. And again, blessing in disguise. There were some things that I realized, wow, I can offer my members more. So it will be August, and I'm going to structure these live streams and kind of give you little tastes of like everything that we talked about, everything that you can expect with the Great Awakener, right? And it's just predictions, longer predictions. There's I always run out of time, as well as a lot more channeled messages. Some things that I just remembered, you need to be at least medium awake, but I think all of y'all really are. Yeah. There's got to be some things that you're going to hear from me that, again, it's not me. Okay. I'm just the messenger. And a lot of the messages that I'm going to give you, I have to figure out how to, we're going to do it in stages. Okay. Because there are some things that you may respond to emotionally. And so that's why I want to make sure that some of the, and the reason I say that is because I know that, and I've been saying like, not everyone's ready to hear this. It's just, some of it's like obvious, but then some of it, I even had to make sure, are you sure this is, so, okay. And then also the world astrology. Yeah. I'm going to show you something in a minute that, again, is going to, and then, and then a lot of the classes, I'm going to show you, like teaching astrology. Yeah. Tarot, free tarot readings, interactive, all live streams. It's going to be so amazing, so exciting. And there's a lot, there's a lot that we're going to do. That's going to be a lot. You're going to get some more fun stuff that I'm very excited about. So again, I see it as this blessing in disguise, and it gives me time. And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna show you something just real quickly. I'll show you something. Yeah, let's do that. Why don't I show you something real quick? Yeah, you ready for this? That's the thing, is where I can't even find the icon. There it is. All right. So I'm gonna show you one of the reasons why, and again, why astrology is so real, because this is just, let me just show you something. Okay. I got to figure out how to, let me present, let me share my screen. Okay. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. There you go. Okay. So you can see that. I'm going to blow it up a bit. There you go. Oh, wait. I don't think that you're seeing the right screen. Hold on. Let me. This is hello Uranus, right? Hello Uranus. Okay, so there we go. I want to make sure that you can actually see this. So here's the transit happening right now. Yeah, all the aspects. And then this is my chart. The inner wheel would be my chart. And so you can see Uranus right on my ascendant. Remember, I'm a 0 degree Gemini rising, so that would be like right here. So I'm going to show you some things that are really interesting. And it's just, I'll do this for 2 seconds. You will see that right here, right? As we know, oh, wait. Yeah, okay. So as we know, the North Node's in Pisces, yeah? South Node is right here, okay? In Virgo. And you can see that my Mercury would be trining, you know, South Node, sextile the North Node. So there's something really big here in terms of the South Node, North Node it's karmic, right? It's your life purpose. It's the direction you're going, your mission statement, the things that you have learned. This is something that, we just call it like a nodal channel, but you see it's activated 19 degrees, 19 degrees, 19 degrees. So my Mercury is really activated with my life purpose right now in a really big way. It's all about the direction you're going. Like I say, like you can even say like your soul's growth. I'm growing, I'm learning. And it really is a time right now where, I mean, you see Mercury. I'm showing you, by the way, my Placidus. If I were to show you my whole sign, I don't think I could do it here, but it would be the 8th house. So remember, I have four planets that shift houses. We're just going to ignore the houses for now. I'm just showing you that. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something else. You can see that right here. Oh, wait. Ooh. Venus. Yeah. So as we know, Venus is in Gemini right now. So therefore it's in my, ascendant. Venus is in my first house, but again, we're ignoring that. Okay. So Venus is now also sextile my natal South Node and my North Node, trining my North Node. So you see, again, this is just, you can call it whatever you want. It's just you can call it like a pyramid, or again, nodal channel, whatever you want. So you see that my Venus is really activated right now in terms of my life purpose, my destiny. It is big. So you see not only Mercury, but also Venus in these rare, I mean, this doesn't happen often. Every 19 years. So this is kind of a big deal. Well, not even 19 years. It just, anyway. Venus is love, money, but also creativity, creative projects, right? And so you see it, this connection right here, my North Node is in my 5th house of creativity, right? So, and South Node, like in your natal chart, it's like you've already learned, like you're already really good at the things there, right? From your past lives, if you want to consider that. But you see that's in, my 11th, Aries 11th. So that would be the masses. I was a leader. I was, a big leader for groups of people. 11th houses, you can call it humanity. It's big groups, all of that. So that's really activated. Yeah. So you see, I have 2 planets in these incredible aspects with the nodes. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is that you see Jupiter, right? Remember, Jupiter is Cancer, 7 degrees. Jupiter is actually squaring. Where is it? Sorry. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. My North Node. My South Node. So there's another one. I have 3 nodal, my North Node, 3 activations happening literally in real time right now while Uranus is on my ascendant. And when you have Jupiter square the nodes, we call that bending of the nodes. Yeah. And Venus is going to be doing that this week or next week for y'all. And I'm talking about your forecast. Remember, Next weekend, you'll have Mars conjunct the South Node. I told you Venus is going to square it. But in your upcoming forecast, Venus will be doing something else, and Venus will be squaring the nodes, bending the nodes with Mars. Mars is right there conjuncting it. He's got the drill, the power drill for what you've got to let go. It's your South Node, past events, past karma, things like that. I'm personally experiencing it right now, right? So you see that happening when Jupiter is squaring my nodes at 7 degrees. So I'm going through some stuff. I'm going through some big things right now with the North Node, with the South Node, all in my chart. Okay. But you can say, like today, I can even show you, you see Venus is actually trining my sun. Exactly. Perfect. 8 degrees. Yeah. And then you see Venus will it's trining my Venus, my natal Venus. That'll be exact later. I should go treat myself. It's Venus. I should get a massage. And then you see here with Saturn is sextile my ascendant. So that's really great. I'm doing something right now, making some adjustments with Saturn going retrograde, but right now, all about the long term. Remember that. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to give you a little bit of what I'm going through and what you can see in your chart. And again, when my website's up next month, we'll do things like this. Yeah. All right. So, does anybody have any questions before I start going into what's been going on? Let me know. All right. And again, I apologize. I really wish the site was up next month. Okay. And remember, time is speeding up. We'll be there in no time. And I have a, date, a tentative deadline date of like August 12th, right after that Aquarius full moon. Yeah. So I'm very excited. There's a lot to talk about. And so a lot of things that are happening right now, we'll talk about and go deeper in. Okay. When we get to when the site's up, when I can talk about it. But yeah, just remember next weekend, everyone on this planet, all of y'all will have Mars with K2, the South Node. Okay. It's a moon South Node. Yeah. It has the energy of Mars. So think of it as just an exit. Again, there's something here. You got to live something liberating you. There's something that you got to let go. Okay. But again, everyone has a different birth chart. Everyone is different. Everyone's going to have a different experience. And I just literally showed you what are the chances. Yeah. That I do have this nodal channel, this trine aspect that's, well, it's not a full trine, but let's just call it a pyramid. I have a pyramid with the North Node, South Node with Mercury, as well as Venus and Jupiter bending the nodes, my nodes of fate. There's something I have to learn. And sometimes it's the hard way. Okay. So it's all about your growth. That's it. Okay. So now let's talk about a couple things here. Let me pull up my notes. Let me see if I put a couple notes up. I honestly don't even know where to start. I mean, you've seen what's been going on, and I haven't really been watching the news, but I've been seeing on social media, and therefore I'm like, oh, whoa. So I will, I'll see some things. We've had that strange weather. We've had a lot of strange weather, as I mentioned. And I told you back in June, you're going to start seeing it in the next few weeks. And you have seen it. And it's not just a flooding, it's a lot of things. Okay. There's been a lot of things. Even like a lot of volcanic activity you've seen. That's not over. Okay. And I will go into that. I'm just going to kind of generally go over some of the things that have happened in just 2 weeks, right? All the massive layoffs, the whole thing with the rapper, that case is, yeah. And then, of course, a bigger name. That's, yeah. And again, yeah, I'm going to have to be vague, and you know why, right? And you're probably seeing a lot more people do the same thing. Just know I've been doing it for a year for a reason. You're seeing a lot more people do it now because there's, okay? So even like the whole thing with Grok, y'all saw that? Y'all, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it. Like, just chat GPT it. What happened to Grok last week? That was bonkers, the way that it was programmed. And then in Florida, the alligator thing. I mean, there's just been so much. Obviously, the flooding. So you see that there's been a world. I told you in your monthly forecast, July is the most bonkers month. It's the most game-changing, because for a lot of y'all, again, we 90% upstairs, the subconscious, right? So think of it as like the hard drive where you stored all your memories from since you were a kid. Like, they're all back here. So there's a certain way, that thing, everyday experiences, life is like how it's supposed to run. And so now it's like, now that your consciousness is expanding, letting a little bit of those things in the back through, so you can question it. Like, wait, this isn't right. It's like a computer, right? It's like, this isn't right. What's going on here? Why is this happening? Oh my gosh, how is all this happening at the same time? So I just let that roll out a little bit while Uranus gets settled in Gemini, which rules with the mind. And I think there's I mentioned world leaders. So I mentioned it last year. Remember when I did I think it was my first, when I first started doing predictions publicly on my channel, I broke it down month by month. I told you what to expect month by month, or what may be something that I would get attention. And then in January, I think it was December or January, I did say that, yes, you're going to see a lot of world leaders change. And I think I did a little reel on my Instagram, because I kept bringing it up. And like, because I give a lot of predictions. I don't, and some, I mean, I know you're not like writing them down or anything, so some slip through the cracks. So I like to just bring those back up when I start feeling that again. And when I say you're going to see a lot of changes with world leaders, that doesn't just include like prime ministers and presidents and things like that. We're talking top of the food chain, directors, generals, things like that. You're going to start seeing changes. Okay. And again, I said this many times just to let you know that it's going to happen, and there's just going to be some changes. And while that happens, there's going to be a lot of other things that are going to distract you or put you in a place where your mind is like, what is going on? And so, yeah, it does feel like a little chaotic right now. And in July, when I say it's going to be a bonkers month, it really is. There's a lot more to come. So just with the fact that I've now said that, no, you have that in your consciousness now. So it won't be so much of a shock when, yeah, okay. And if you have any specific questions about anything that's going on, feel free to ask me. Yeah. Okay. I think the funny thing is, and I want to really know about Uranus, if anyone's really felt that, and just the irony of me quitting my job and then going straight into working more than I know, like the 16-hour days. I just thought it was funny, but just in general, speaking of Uranus and Gemini, remember that's going to bring accelerated change and surprises and the unexpected in everything that you see. And tech is a big thing. Space is a big thing. And that's the other thing. There's been so many wonderful, interesting things happening in space that not like nobody's because there's bigger headline news. And so I think it was like I don't know if you heard about the third interstellar object that's been discovered in our solar system. There's something that the first time that happened was 2018. I don't know how to pronounce it. Oumuamua. Where there was, and now they're calling it a comet. So it's not part of our solar system. That made major headlines, but nobody even saw it. And that was this past week. And so it's a third time since we've been detecting these things. Since, I don't know, maybe the 60s or something. NASA, 40s maybe. It's a third time. And the first time was not too long ago. And so there's a third interstellar object that's unknown. And it's not on a trajectory we know, therefore we know it's not ours. And I think the latest I heard is they think that it's a comet. It's not. But they said if it is a comet, it's, the closest it'll be to Earth would be around I think October, November, December. So they can get a better look at it. I think that you heard a lot of news about a lot of disclosures. Of course, and again, that's Neptune retrograde working in action. But a lot of things that I told you in the last live stream, so you can look at that. Because I just don't want to repeat a lot of the things that that happen. There's gonna be some things that just me looking at. I sometimes look into Vedic, because I do, I'll do Placidus as you see, and whole sign, Western, but listen, I'm a Gemini rising. I'm a Virgo moon. I have an analytical. Remember, Mercury rules both signs, and I'm an Aquarius, which is very future forward and that innovative energy. So I got to know things. I got to know things, and I know a lot of things. But there are some things that I really want to tell you, and maybe I'll do it next week, okay? Because we're just not going to have a lot of time here. But there is a lot more focus. There's going to be a lot of focus on truth, on people seeking it, and I guess deception. But one thing that I will tell you, okay, is that there is technology that exists, and I think that I mentioned this many times, and this is something that I can say. There's a lot of technology that exists that we don't know about, and so a lot of it, like with our government, with the military, and they do get about, what is it, 700 billion a year, 800 billion. So think about how much they can do without money. Think about how much, what they've been able to accomplish for decades, if they've been getting that kind of, for a long time. So there's gonna be, all I'm saying is that there are ways with astrology, it's pattern recognition. So astrology isn't predictions, and I want to make that very clear. Astrology is forecasting, okay? So with astrology, yeah, you can look ahead and you can forecast, because remember, I always talk about the lower expressions, the higher expressions, but you can still forecast and say, this is likely, or this is probable. As like a weatherman, it's like that, right? And so it's not predictions, but me being able to channel and being psychic, I can see things. And then, yeah, sometimes I'll look and see if it aligns with the astrology. I'm like, oh gosh, astrology is real. But one thing that you can't really predict is technology that, or I'm sorry, forecasts with astrology. There is technology that exists, and I'm just going to make this really short, and we'll talk about it a lot more maybe in a few weeks, and next time I set up. But they do have, right, the government, they have technology that can see a little bit into the, okay? And then all the flooding. It was so tragic. And that's, it's just really sad. It's really hard. And if anybody's in any of those areas, and it was like all over. It was like New Mexico. It was even, I think, Chicago and Oklahoma, obviously Texas. And so that was a lot. And again, we'll talk more about this, okay? I'll explain a lot of things. I think a lot of the earthquakes, I think that Mount Rainier, I heard, had a lot of, where was it, 300? There was it was a swarm. I think it was like 300 earthquakes or something. It was like the most that they've ever gotten. There's just a lot happening with Earth right now. Literally, too. I remember when I said time is slowing down or speeding up. Did you hear about, so they've been tracking, so July 9th, which was a few days ago, and I meant to talk about this on my last live stream, but I just ran out of time. I was going to tell you, like at July 9th, it was recorded as the shortest day on record, okay? Earth is spinning faster. And they have the technology, right, to detect this. And so a faster spinning Earth makes the day shorter, but it's time dilation. And that's Einstein, right? Einstein's relativity. Like, our perception of time wouldn't change. It just goes faster. But so July 9th was the shortest day on record. And when I say that, just like a millisecond. Yeah. But that, in the grand big scheme of things, that's a lot. But just, like I think it was 1.5. And the shortest day on record before that was June 29th, 2022. Now, how are they actually recording this? Well, they have their equipment, right? But it started with the atomic clock that came out in the 1960s. And so since the 1960s, the two shortest days on record were just within 3 years. So it was June 29th, 2022. And then July 9th, just recently. So out of a span of decades. So anyway, we'll talk about that a lot more. We have solar winds, by the way, heading our way. I check out a lot of Earth stuff, a lot of space stuff. And yeah, they're like, the Schumann's resonance. I feel like there's going to be more. It's just obvious at this point. Maybe this weekend there's been a little bit of slowdown, but I did make my prediction about a pretty significant earthquake and tsunami and whatnot, and that's going to happen and soon. Okay, it's okay, and I already talked about that, and you can find that in the last live streams. But again, more of Asia, California coast. And then I think a few weeks ago, I picked up Mexico. I think I mentioned that as well. But I mentioned a lot of different places. And maybe I will go ahead and make a list and have it ready for you. Well, that's something I'll do. Have it ready for you and put it on a little screen share here. But solar winds, yeah, they're coming in. Okay, they're coming in. There may be some more weather activity. And I think there was also the pyramids. There was the plasma bubbles over the Great Pyramids. Again, I'll leave that for you to just Google if you want to know more about that. I did say plasma would be a keyword for 2025, and I'm still sticking to that because it's not just this. There's a lot of things that have to do with our planet, our solar system, but also things that we have made that have plasma. So okay, so I'm going to show you something. Oh, by the way, so again, very unfortunate event that happened in Kerr County, Texas. And we'll talk more about that. I'll tell you why it but it is unfortunate, and it's just really unfortunate because it was preventable. And again, it was, there was just a number of factors that you've probably heard of. I mean, it's just been all over the news. So what I'm going to show you is, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So I'm going to show you something. And let me share my screen. I'm going to show you something. And this has to do with Kerr County, Texas. Okay. Now, can you see my screen? So remember that we had an annular solar eclipse. This happened 2023. You see the date here, October 14th, 2023. And this was in Libra. This eclipse was in Libra. Yeah. You see that? Okay. I'm going to share another screen. Now, do you remember the Great American, what was it called? The Great American Eclipse. So this also went through the US. This was the total solar eclipse. April 8th. So, wait, no, this wasn't the Great American one. That was 2017, but this was the second one, the second total solar eclipse that we had. It's been decades, but the first one was like, I think 2017. Anyway, this is just recently. So you saw the lunar eclipse. The eclipse that happened in 2023. I just showed you. That was a solar eclipse. Yeah. And then this one that went through Texas. Yeah. Okay. So let me share one more screen for you. And this one, if I can find it, remember with my eclipse issue. Okay, so here we go. So now you see the solar eclipse from October 14th, 2023, and you see the total solar eclipse from April 8th, 2024. It was on the Aries Libra axis. The first one was in Libra. The second one was in Aries. Look at where they cross over. It is literally over Kerr County, Texas. That is where Kerr County, Texas is. And so again, I'm looking at the time, but there's astrology for you. There's astrology. And Aries and Libra, they have their archetypes. We'll talk about it. I think you already know, right? But there's a lot of things about Kerr County that have significance. So that area has significance. We'll talk about it. But I just wanted to show you that the chances of that happening is just really crazy. Like right at the intersection of those two eclipses. And remember, we had a couple more eclipses. And remember, we will have eclipses again in September. And that's something that I really want you to, if there's anything, just remember that September is going to be a really big month because it is eclipse season. And it's been an interesting, year with Pisces, the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. So we will have an eclipse in Pisces and an eclipse in Virgo. So very interesting. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's just eclipse season. And with eclipse seasons, things are, things change. But one thing that I think that the activity that, the circumstances that happened in Texas brought up a lot of issues about, cloud seeding. I think that you heard about that. And if you haven't, let me know. If you have any questions about that, let me know. It brought a lot of attention to cloud seeding, and I think that it picked up a conversation about contrails, which is, this is like what, like weather modification, geoengineering. It's when, like, our, the government and the people they contract, like, they do things with our weather. They manipulate our weather. But so I'm glad that's just, like, if anything, that's brought out into the consciousness now. Like, people are actually like, oh, we didn't really like that. That's a thing. It is a thing. It's even, like, patented. Like, it's patent. It's a, like, weather modification is patent. And so, well, but I'll talk about all this. I'll talk about a lot of other things. A couple other things I want to mention from a lot of the predictions that I made. I told you last year, I have my bugs, and I probably should just, like, when I get, like, I'm just, you know what, we'll do it next time. But I'll just tell you, I did bring up the initials TC a couple times. Someone that's in the news, someone who's was a big, host, and that I said that he was going to be he was going to say things. And so that time has come. Okay. And that's going to be a lot more. Okay. And there's just going to be a lot more things. The other thing is, even before, and this is something that I was really excited about while I was working on the site before it, like, spiraled, I started connecting a lot of the dots because, again, remember, I have these visions, I see these things, I hear these things, I write them down. Half the time I have to Google it. Like, I don't even know what this means. Remember, Missouri kept coming up for me. Michigan kept coming up for me. Well, I think I know why. And I will tell you next week. I had to look into, and I had to really figure out. I had to really go, because the other thing is, like, because of just all this, the circumstances I've been going through, I haven't had time to channel again. So I had one session, okay, and oh, I think it's okay for me to tell you now some things that I think I mentioned it back in June. I held on to it. It's in my books. It's something that came up around April or May. And again, I'll show you, that was in this journal. But yeah, the elections, there's going to be some news around that, and you're going to see some news around previous ones come up. It's time. So I would say, like, August-ish. I would say just more fall, because there's a lot of pieces to that, and it was just so scattered for me when I was seeing it. But there's just know that there's going to be questions. And I think that, let me see, I may have written some down on my thing here. But But either way, there's oh yeah. There's oh yeah, the fire truck, the earthquake. Uh, yeah, yeah. Pomegranates. I don't know why pomegranates came up, but yeah. So oh shoot. Okay. Just more volcanic activity. And remember, I mean, go through every single live stream, there's I've always said lava, like volcanoes. So it's not just the earthquake, but it's that, but there is it was really interesting because I did see something else, but a lot of things instead of Europe, like it came up Europa. So I think that just means like an old, but it was definitely Italy that came up. I mean, you can see right there. I know you can't read my handwriting, but that's Europa. Like I wasn't sure if it was pointing to ancient. So, but you see volcano erupt. I don't know. I can't read my handwriting. So I think when it says Europa, I think it's just like old school, like an ancient volcano. I don't know. I guess I would assume they're all Sicily, Sardinia. I wrote down just in case there's some. I mean, I'm not just in case, but they came up too. And I did see a lot of. I saw let's leave it there because I know it's yeah, there's just there's a lot happening and I want you to be able to. I don't want to there's there's already enough happening, right? There's already enough happening, so I don't want to. But do you have any questions for me? Anybody have any questions? Oh, Jan, it is your first new member live chat. I love it. I hope this, and then normally, again, I am, today was just a little bit scattered, but I did want to give you an update on the Great Awakener, the website. It's looking like August, but again, it's now's a good time for me to, and it was, it's so funny. I think I told you that Mercury went into pre-shadow phase on the exact day that I was doing that live stream, the day that Mercury was opposite my Pluto, and Mercury was opposite Pluto. It was really funny. Manny, oh, my PayPal link is broken. Oh, shoot. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. That's Uranus on my ascendant. A lot of things I got to fix today. I will find I actually think that I think I have it, but thanks for letting me know. Okay. I think that I can tell you what it is. I'll even put it here. I'm gonna share it. And thank you for joining. Brian, it's great to see you. You asked, what's the scoop on all the portal dates? 7788, Lionsgate, 1111. How we use them better, explain them, go through them. Okay, Brian, I love it. Listen, it really is tied more. It doesn't really have anything to do with astrology. Lionsgate, yeah, you can make it because they're very ancient, these portals. So they date back to more of the ancient civilizations, ancient cultures. Numerology was very important to them. Numbers was very important to them. But then also, like, even think about Pythagoras. So there is a sacred geometry. There is this. I think that the light version that I will give you is that it's the energy that you use. It is the energy that you connect with, okay, with these portals. And yes, it's strong frequency when you have these numbers that you're asking together. And a lot of it is, remember, I think that I've said this before, is a lot of it's like, it has to do with your belief and how you connect. Because remember, if everything's energy and everything is, according to the ancients and according to modern science, therefore everything has the potential to be conscious. And there is an argument that consciousness is what time and space is, basically. So it's the energy, it really is the energy that you put toward these portals, the meaning and the significance for the numbers, all of that. It's so layered, but yeah. I think that I said like 7. Did I say that already? 7 is a interesting number. It's a spiritual number. I think that I might be talking about that now in your, I maybe, but 7 is a prime number, and that's what makes it very, interesting. It is the sum of the spiritual, right? 3, and the material, 4. So there is something very interesting about 7. And when you have double 7, I mean, you can even consider 7 a lucky number, right? So I could go really into like the deep meaning here, but consider it lucky. Just consider it lucky. But it just means a lot of things, and I can just go into these bigger deep dives too when I have the time for it. But yeah, so 8, okay, so 8, by the way, the reason why that's such a big thing is because it is during Leo season, and Leo is a lion, and 8, right? August 8th, that's just so auspicious. 8 is such an auspicious number. The circle 8, the Ouroboros, 8 is just, it's prosperity. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And so that's why I think over the centuries, over the millennia, 8 has just been considered, 8, that portal. Well, okay, since the calendar system was invented, I think a lot of people were just like, 8, even in Buddhism, it's considered, a lucky number, 8. Yeah. So again, 8 is because there's been so much energy given to the number 8, it exists. And that's why I don't know how other people do it, but for me, it's energy. So if you think about that, since the calendar system's been, a thing, 8 always been seen as this prosperous, abundant, amazing number, a very auspicious number. If people have been doing energy work or using that portal that day, that exists. It's in the ether, and that makes it a portal. So on August 8th, yes, use it. Set intentions. And I will be talking about August tomorrow, all right, for the August astrology overview. Yeah, I'll be talking about that. What's going on in August? There's I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot happening in August. So I will give you, but I'm gonna just look real quick and see what's happening on August 8th. Just give me oh my goodness. Yes, August 8th. That's amazing. Okay, Brian, are you listening? Everybody, August 8th, Mars will trine Uranus. Oh, whoa. Amazing. Okay. It'll be opposite Saturn too, but this will be a day. This will be a day because it's right next to so August 8th this year will be the day before the full moon in Aquarius. So you already have a portal here of letting something go, but Mars trine Uranus, I think that's going to be the first time ever. Remember, Uranus in Gemini, the first time in 84 years. And so when you have Mars hasn't trined Uranus yet. Mars is going to be in Libra at this point. This is going to be the first Mars-Uranus trine we've ever experienced in our lifetime. Right at the full moon in Aquarius, but Mars is going to be opposite Saturn and then Neptune as well, which is fine. I'll walk you through that. Remember, with any of these oppositions, I always walk you through it on how to take advantage of it. Oh yeah, and Mars will trine Pluto too. That's going to be that's going to be a really big portal where you're going to really have to manifest. You're really going to have to put your energy out there. I'm looking at what's happening now. August 8th, August 9th, August 10th, August 11th. Whoa. There's a lot happening. Just that cluster of days. Wow. Yeah. Mercury goes direct, but I even gave you a little preview. Venus will conjunct Jupiter. Come on. Like there's, Ceres is going retrograde. Wow. Yeah. So August is a bonker. It's even more bonkers because it takes the bonkers from July and it's getting used to it. But it's like now, it's just, you're going to have a lot of energy. Because remember, the first half of August, the sun will be in Leo. We will be in Leo season. And I talk about that. And I'm doing your forecast now. Leo season's fun. And I want you to have fun. I want everybody to have fun. That's what Leo season's for. It's tapping into your inner child. It's creative energy. Being self-expressive. And I will talk about so anyway, I should be saving this for the live stream tomorrow. That's for tier 3 members, the monthly overview. But okay, does anybody so I also have y'all, I told you last week I'm getting a moderator, so I have a moderator, Brad. But again, yeah, I had to remember this was a very last minute live stream that I was just like, I wanted to give you a little bit of what's going on right now. You're just gonna remember it, just take everything in, everything that's happening, even in your life. Like just ask yourself, what am I meant to learn? What can I improve? What should I address? Because again, you're gonna start feeling these retrogrades come in, and it's a great time to reflect on your direction moving forward. Remember, the summer prism portal, it ends September 1st. Yeah, there's a deadline because that's when Saturn moves back into Pisces. So, and it's eclipse season anyway. So remember, you just want to prepare. And I will make it clear now. And I make this clear. I make this very clear. Remember, I did your forecast as part of my 16-hour workday since July. So I may have been a little burnt out. But Saturn and Neptune, remember, they're conjuncting right now. And they are going to be the closest July 19th. Okay? The closest that they've been. And so that means it's going to be very, very similar to their conjunction that they're going to have in February. So it's just such an interesting time, July 19th, July 20th, because you have Saturn conjuncting Neptune, very close, 13 minutes away from each other. They're just, what is it, 2 ships in the night? But they're actually going to graze each other. It's very interesting. And this is all metaphorically, obviously. But it's happening at the time of the Mars South Node conjunction and Venus bending the nodes. That's all happening at the same time. So it's very, very interesting. And of course, on the world stage, yeah, you're gonna see things. You're gonna see things play out this week. You're gonna see things happen around that time as well. It's right at the time of the new moon as well. So yeah, but it would be around that time where you are getting a little glimpse of what your life is going to be like starting February 2026. That would be around July 19th. You're getting a tiny glimpse of where you will be. Okay? And not that I'm saying like it's just like where you want to be. Let me say it that way, where you want to be by February 2026. But that would be like the window because they're so close. So yeah, put yourself where you want to be. And even if you're not where you want to be, that's fine. Like right now, that's fine. You're meant to go within. Up here. Okay? That's what matters the most. Okay? Let's see. Lori, you said, would you consider pulling a chart for Mount Rainier and Washington State to see what the astrology says? Yeah, maybe for another time. Maybe for another time. I don't think I even know the. Yeah, I can look. It's just you have to really. I don't even think you can. I mean, yeah, I mean, you would. That one's kind of tricky because you don't know the birth time, but you can get like when it was incorporated, like when it became a public something. Like there's a lot of different ways, but yeah, when my site is up, not now. Like I just remember 16-hour days. Come on. But it would be interesting to see, Lori. I would be very interested in seeing that. That would be, yeah. And yeah, again, remember, I'm a little already, and it's not even, it's already, oh, it's only noon. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jessica, your son's turning 15 on 8/8. That's amazing. Great day. Great day. Just remember that day is Mars will be opposite Saturn. And you know, they are the two like malefics. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you can use these. Remember, you want to use these aspects, don't let them use you. So it's just Mars trining Uranus is a bigger thing. That's amazing. Y'all are that's like a lot of great. You're gonna have big breakthroughs. Mars is there to Uranus is breakthroughs. It's with Mars that's helping you. That's amazing. Roberta, you asked, are there galactic forces or beings trying to help us? Yeah. I'm going to talk about that on my site. But that's a great question. That's a great question. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Brian, you had mentioned 8/11 on a few earlier live streams as a huge day. I did? Oh yeah. That's the thing. I give so many of these predictions, but I'm going to start putting them down. Timestamps. There's going to be timestamps. Thank you, Brad. There's going to be a list of predictions. Thank you, Brad. That I've made. And again, remember, they're all of them have, yeah, but there's still some that we're waiting for. All of them have come, yeah, they've happened. And August 11th, I don't know which one. I wonder what it was, because I do sometimes just give you days. That's what I get, and that's like sometimes I just get dates and nothing else. Yeah, it's really interesting. But then sometimes I think that was the housing. There's like a housing collapse. Well, I don't think that's the right word. There's something big happening with the housing market that came up, and I have that written down, but I think that was the date. 8/11 was, yeah. But remember, timelines change. So I should be saying on this timeline. But yeah, that was yeah, okay. So y'all, oh yeah, real estate, you had written down August 11th, real estate. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, whew, time is speeding up. Y'all, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I gotta go. I gotta work on a lot of things. I gotta finish your forecast. So please don't forget right now, today, Saturn going retrograde. Use it. Mercury going retrograde. What is that? Mercury's going to retrograde soon. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening. But remember, you've got your forecasts all about going within, all about that inner wisdom. And just think about that part of Saturn going retrograde. Remember, Saturn is just structure. Okay? Structure, responsibilities. It's you reassessing all of that, but also thinking about that structure for the long term. You're going to be very happy with the forecast I'm doing right now. It's for the last 2 weeks. Okay. So it's for the rest of July. There's a lot. I want to give you a little preview. But remember, we have a new moon in Leo too. It is bonkers. There's something happening when I'm like looking at the whiteboard. I know, can you tell? There's something happening as soon as we actually move into Leo season. The second half of July, it really is going to be it's still good. Like I told you, July's going to be bonkers. You haven't seen there's a lot. And then being in Venus with the nodes, bending the nodes. So Venus is with Mars, on the south node. There's some letting go, but does anybody have any other questions? Do they have any questions? Jackie, I think you came. Yeah, you said you missed the first part. So just to reiterate, I have Uranus on my ascendant, meaning I've had a lot of different unexpected surprises that happened, and you were there to witness it on day one, on June 29th, when I was ready to show you the site. But something happened that moment, right? Uranus was already on my ascendant, to be honest. Right there, that 29 degree, it was like 53 minutes. It was right there. And so, so there's been a lot of fun surprises and unexpected things that have happened with the site, the people I'm working with as well on that site. There's a lot of fun stuff. So it's been delayed until August. August 12th is the day that I'm giving myself. And that is the day after Venus conjuncts Jupiter, actually. So that's great. So, but I will keep you posted. I'll keep you updated. And yes, for those who are late, you can't sign up the email form to get updates. Another tech issue, Uranus on my ascendant, came out of nowhere. I got to look into that today. And I got to finish her forecast because I've only done like 3. Remember, I do 24 forecasts a week. I do your forecast for all 12 signs, but then the bonus spreads too. And just scripting out, just looking at what's happening for every sign, it takes some time, to all the background work. But I'm very excited for you to get these. I really want you to get excited. There's a lot of great stuff happening. Okay, the last few weeks of July, and you even have the your July forecast. All right. Thank you so much, y'all. Thanks so much. I do need to get a massage. And that's the great thing is, like, I was finally able to, sneak away and just get to the gym. And remember, they have a pool, they have a hot tub, they have all of that. I needed that. And I think that if anyone, it's whenever, because I started getting to the point where it's like, it was just a little overwhelming for me. And so there are moments where you have to, it's the surprises part, right? Uranus bringing the surprises. But I, said earlier, I natally have Uranus in the 6th house. Like, I'm used to surprises. I handle it well. I'm a Gemini rising. That's a very mutable energy. And I'm Virgo moon, mutable energy, very analytical. I handle these things. I'm good. I'm good to go. But thank you so much, everybody, y'all. And again, apologies if I was like a little scattered today. I'm just trying to get back on the Jimmy train. It's left without me. There it goes. I gotta hop on. Okay, so thank you so much, y'all. I'm so, and again, I do see it as a blessing in disguise. Okay, there's so many other things that I realize, like, it's got to be amazing. So I do see it as a blessing in disguise. And August is a great time. But be very, yeah. Watch your forecast. Take your time with anything. Don't rush through anything with these retrogrades. Don't try to fight the retrogrades. It's asking you to go within. And if you have anything in your chart, a lot of y'all I know how to read your chart, which is amazing. I can't wait to go through charts with y'all. But I showed you my chart. If you have anything, so you literally have seen 3 major things that are happening with the Mercury with my node, or the North Node, South Node with my Mercury, right? Venus with my North Node, my South Node, and then Jupiter squaring my nodes. So right on the degree, like it is bonkers what I'm going through right now. But you see, this is all for me to have my growth. I'm learning my soul growth. This would be a growth portal if they're speaking of portals. So what's happening July 19th and 20th for all of y'all, that would be considered a growth portal. Okay. Especially with relationships, with love, and with creative projects. It is Venus. Yeah. Beauty. Mars is there too. Use Mars. Use him. He's letting you. You got power. Okay, y'all, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. And I'll see you very soon. Okay. I'll schedule another one of these when I have time to actually put things together. Again, I talked about a lot of things I said we'll talk about later. Okay. So there's some things that, I feel like we can go a little bit deeper into. All right. So thank you so much. And some of y'all will see tomorrow, right, for the August astrology overview live stream. But I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Okay. Moon in Aquarius. We love it. Okay. And I think that's it. Saturn going retrograde. That's it. You're fine. You're good. Enjoy it. Enjoy the weekend. Remember, Venus is in Gemini, very social. Yeah. Go out there, beautify Venus's beauty, but have a lot of conversations and network, and you're going to be, remember, magnetic. Y'all are amazing. I'll see you very soon. All right. Thank you so much, and have an amazing weekend. All right. And again, yes, Great Awakener, the website, August. We're looking at August. Thank you so much. All right. Bye, y'all. Thank you.